This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, we reviewed the 1992 Hong Kong action thriller Hard Boiled. Plus, we got a new trailer for the John Wick prequel show, The Continental. All your streaming apps are raising rates. Has the MCU ruined comedies? Wonder Woman 3 with Gal Gadot is not happening now, and more. All in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Monday, August 14th, 2023.
Hey, it's Michael Rosenbaum, and you are listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. Why? Because you, my friend, need to keep up with all the latest superhero and comic book TV and movie news. And nobody brings it like these guys do. Check them out.
Check. Check one. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up. We nerd it. We funny, disturb it. We jock it, we nerd it. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah!
Oh, hello, what's up, listener? Welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero, TV, and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
And joining us is a fella who's about as hard-boiled as they come. He plays jazz trombone and goes by the name Whiskey Sour. But we call him Rug Boy. What's up, Rugs?
Yes, witness me as I slide down a banister with two guns in my hands and a matchstick and a cigarette in my mouth at the same time.
And a baby while you're playing the trombone.
Yes, I'm holding a baby while playing a oboe.
Only Rug Young Fat.
With various birds flying around
Only
me.
Chow Rug Boy is able to pull this off.
Yes.
All
they call
right. Anyways, enough of that.
Did I throw enough John Woo jokes in there?
I think so. There's got to throw in some doves, some double guns. You said all that. We'll get to that.
You got to shoot at someone multiple times, even though they're probably dead after the first shot.
Yes, but they need 70 bullets.
You never reloaded a John Woo.
No reload.
Your gun is like
unlimited
endless.
bullets.
You also need to be sliding and or jumping and or rolling or all of those things at once while shooting at people. We'll get to all that fantastic stuff in the movie review later. We got some news to geek out about. Let's hit it.
The Jock and Nerd podcast.
Quick Hollywood strike update. Well, the WGA, the writers, they're still on strike. They've been on strike, though, 104 days now. They've broken 100-day strike barrier. So the 2008 WGA strike lasted 100 days in its entirety. The 1988 strike is the longest strike to date at 154 days. And I tell you what, I think these guys got a good chance of beating this record.
It's going 200.
Oh, I'm going 200, 250.
No, 200. It'll end before
because another 50 days is like a month and a half. It's definitely still going.
Yeah.
So we could be right. Yeah, we are going to witness the longest historic WGA strike in history.
Dude, this is for all the fucking everything. This is for all the shit right now.
It is. Somebody's going to have to cave on something at some point.
Yeah, this is one of the bigger ones. I mean, this is, as Rugg said, it's for all the marbles. Like, this is going to shape what we view in the next
there's real
10,
shit.
20 years.
There's real shit being fucking fought for right now. Yep. So I'm all like on the side of the people striking. This is stuff
I think most logical people should be.
Yeah.
If you look at everything and get an understanding of what's really going on.
Unless you're Green Arrow, then you know.
Well, here's the next leads into my next bit, but the actors have been on strike 32 days. Wait, we'll get to the Green Arrow, but I feel like what's going to happen is they're going to maybe cave on the writers and the SAG on the AI stuff, because I feel like the studios are already doing that anyways, and they're going to continue to do it. The fact that they're even talking about it and there's this specific dialogue means they've not only thought about it, they're doing it. I don't know if you saw a bunch of AI job listings, high end, like 6-figure salary job listings for like Disney and other studios were popping up.
I mean, I don't think without diving too deep into it, I don't think the writers are saying this can't happen. I think there's just got to be like safeguards in place.
Protections,
Well,
yes.
Right.
I think that if you're part of the process, even if you're using AI, the AI doesn't get paid, you get paid, right?
Yeah.
So if you're steering it, you should still reap a percentage. Like, for example, there could be like AI aided or AI not aided. If you're doing completely without AI, then you get one fee. But if you're obviously using AI to generate shitloads of scripts and stuff, then you should get a different fee. But like, you should still get paid.
Well,
So
that needs to be in the contract, right? Like, say you're an extra background guy and they scan your likeness and your whole body to put you in, but it should be per movie. Every movie that your body scan is used, you got to get something out of that. That should be written.
The point is that, okay, they're not going to pay them the full rate, but you give them a percentage of what they would have been if they were there.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I don't know why they can't figure this out. They're going to be like, no, you're not there, and I'm going to pay you.
But, and I think part of the problem is like the members of the AMPTP now, it's not just Hollywood studios. It's like we said, it's tech companies. It's companies like Apple and Amazon who, the money they make from all that content doesn't really matter to them that much. It's kind of like a fun little hobby that they can throw billions of dollars on. That's not even their main business. So how can you...
It's like a write-off for them.
Yeah, how can you all come to agreement if you have people that the content, the movies is the main product that you have to, look into saving money. So it seems very complicated.
I don't think we should report on it until something happens.
All right, I'm just going to give you the numbers. Actor strike, 32 days, nothing is happening. But you were talking about Green Arrow, and yes, 2 weeks ago, Stephen Amell made some comments, got him in some trouble on the social medias about the SAG strike. He said, quote, I guess he was at a convention. He said, quote, I support my union. I do. And I stand with them, but I do not support striking. I don't. I think it is reductive negotiating tactic. And I find the entire thing incredibly frustrating. And I think the thinking as it pertains to shows like the show that I'm on, Heels, that premiered last night, I think it's myopic. So I think he was a little frustrated because he does that second season of that show Heels. I guess it's about wrestling. I don't know. He's in it. But this Friday, he shows up on Picket Line.
Oh, shit.
In New York. In support. I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, he fucked up and found out.
He tried to backpedal all that and he had to explain.
Ruggs was using that now.
Fuck up and
Well,
find
that's like
out.
you fucked around and found
Fuck
out.
around and
but,
find
Fuck
out.
around and
yeah,
find
he
out.
fucked around and he
Very
found
Gen
out.
Z thing. I love that one though. That's actually great. Fuck around and find out. Why don't you?
Yeah, but that's some old fucking dude from the South said that
It
shit.
sounds like a really old saying.
It
that's
wasn't
been
like
around.
some like Gen Z kid
No,
didn't figure
this
that
is
one
like
out.
something from like the 60s in the Bronx,
Yeah.
right? Fuck around
Have
and
you seen
find
the
out.
one? Have you seen the one video where the dude confronts probably the guy in his like mid 40s in the supermarket?
Yeah.
And he's like recording him, and he's like a burly 40-year-old guy, and he's like, "You're not that guy, buddy. You're not that guy." Have you seen that one?
No, I don't
No,
think so.
No, that's
wanna
like
see it.
teenager. I guess I don't know. This like younger kid. I don't know what exactly caused the argument, but he's like recording the big guy, and he's like basically recording him like what are you gonna do? What are you gonna? And the big guy literally goes, "You're not that guy, buddy. Trust me, you're not that guy." Like as if they'll say like you cannot fuck with
don't
me.
even
Dude.
try.
Like don't. You're not on my level.
That is fuck around and find out.
You're not. Yeah, that was the original. Fuck around and
Yeah,
find out.
you're
You're
not
not
that
that guy, buddy. You're not that guy.
You're not gonna be that
Here,
guy.
I'm gonna find it real quick.
I shit guys like you
You're
out.
not that
Yo,
guy, pal.
You don't need to see this.
You're not
You need to
that
see
guy.
it
Jesus.
right now. We're gonna.
Oh, we're distracted.
Watch the show. Watch this part.
We're
real
gonna do a
quick.
time jump, everyone.
Okay.
How's that? How's that? How's that? Fuck you where you breathe. Okay?
Fuck you and your
Don't tell me
breed.
what the fuck to do. How's that, pal?
I didn't tell you what to
You
do.
did. You said don't talk to people who you don't know. I'll talk to whoever the fuck I want to know.
Never mind.
How's that, pal?
Never mind. I did tell him not to talk.
That's right. So use your fucking head if you know how.
Understood.
Okay, you little pimply little shit.
If you guys could not do this in the store.
That sounds good to me.
So then leave.
I'm checking out, sir.
Yeah,
Check out.
Bring out if you could take
Okay?
6
You're not
feet.
that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Okay.
Okay?
You?
Absolutely.
You're gonna get arrested for this?
Arrested for doing what? Just like a pimple on the left. Somebody says something and you don't like it.
Sir?
And you don't like it, right? Is that what it is?
If
You
don't
little
stop
pimp.
yelling,
Can you hold the
get
camera
out of
while
the
I check?
store.
I'll leave the store,
I'm listening
okay?
to the young
Fuck
lady.
you where you bleed, pal. Right where you breathe. Go vote for fucking Biden and suck right here.
Have a good day, sir.
Wow.
The line though, you're not that guy.
You're
pal.
not that
Trust me,
guy,
you're not
pal.
You're not that guy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's the original. That's the 2 years ago. Fuck around and find out.
I wish I knew what that was about.
I wish I did too. It
He's in
sounds
a
like
Walgreens. It seems very
yeah.
innocuous.
It sounds like the one guy maybe was getting in like just jumping in this guy's business about something.
It's like
I don't
fuck you
know.
where you breathe, pal. No, you don't fuck around with that guy. Just, what is going on?
Yeah, I like fuck you where you breathe. That's like
great.
see like
Fuck you where you
that-
breathe.
Fuck
Yeah,
you.
that's like fuck around and find out. That's like
There's
You're
some
not
gems
that
out there.
guy, pal. Is great video.
listen. I got called the shit ass once, and the guy's fucking teeth fell
I do
out.
remember that.
I'll never forget that in my life. Oh my god, what are we doing on this show?
Moving on to another video. Fuckers. I think we needed to hear that though. But I want to talk about a trailer. All this seems just ridiculous after Not That Guy, pal. The new trailer for the Continental show on the cock from the world of John Wick. This is coming out September 22nd. It is a 3-part event. So I don't know, what's that, 3-hour-long episodes? So this trailer gives us a lot of things. What'd you guys think? Anthony, what'd you think of this? Does it give you a geek boner for this show?
No.
No? Oh.
Floppy Jock.
I mean, it might be good, right? I'm a little weary about any sort of IP coming on and being a TV show. I think Marvel's really stained my
Oh, boy.
thoughts.
Yeah, they're trying to milk
on
this.
movie IP, then moving into TV, and then trying to do both.
Yeah.
We haven't seen good success. We really haven't seen success with Star Wars. Apparently, Rings of Power was a disaster.
It is all right.
So I don't know.
That's a good
It
point.
doesn't look as good as the movie.
Sure, but it has that. I mean, it's in the 70s. It has that kind of aesthetic. And in this one, we do see a lot of gunplay and a lot of fighting. And can the fight choreography, the action be on par with those movies?
It's such a high bar.
This is a high bar with the John Wick
if
movies.
they can do it, that's great. It's just the
Yeah.
movies are so high level.
I just think that you have to use it as an expansion, but not necessarily in lockstep with the actual continuity. So it can inform, like Rebels was, right? Like you watch Star Wars Rebels, like no one expects you to watch it, but it does inform a lot of stuff if you want to get it
lives
in there.
in that universe, but
and
it's
you're
its
not
own
expecting
thing.
it to be the movie.
Yeah.
You're expecting it just to be its own thing.
Well, I
But-
kind of like the idea of a young Winston and Sharon. How do you say his name?
Was that the guy that's playing? He's playing a young Winston,
young
the
Sharon,
lead.
young Winston, and Mel Gibson running the Continental. So it's the story of how Winston gets control of the Continental. That's kind of interesting.
He wrestles it away from Mel Gibson.
From Mel Gibson, he's got to defeat Mel, and it's only 3 episodes, so maybe they won't
Yeah,
fucking
that's
dilly dally, and they'll bring us like some of the martial arts in here and the masks. Like some of that shit looks fun. So I'm if it's only 3
I'm
episodes,
going to watch it. I don't really expect much, but I'm going to watch it. I'm interested in what it could be. So
It is
yeah,
smart.
I'll watch
It's
it.
low time investment with the 3 episode event.
Yeah, it's
That's
only
smart.
3 hours.
That's smart. If it's
Yeah,
any
that's
good,
smart.
yeah, right. If it's any good, we should review it. I'm kind
yeah,
of
leave everybody wanting more.
right and just do it well. Just
You don't bore the
do
fuck
it
out of
well.
people with your fucking meandering stories
Oh,
that
God.
don't fucking nobody cares about.
Yeah. Well, everybody tests that. Anyways, that's coming out September 22nd. Listener, let us know what you think. You can join this conversation. You can join our fun Facebook group. It's called Jock and Nerd Nation. Jock and Nerd. There is a link in the episode description. It is a closed private group just for our listeners. Geek it up in there. Spoiler threads, lots of fun stuff going on over there. Now, if you have Peacock Premium, you may have noticed that it costs a little bit more now. And that's because everything is going to cost a little bit more. All the streaming services are going up in price. Disney Plus and Hulu just announced a huge price increase that's going to start in October, okay? October 12th. Disney's ad-free premium plan will increase. It's $10.99. It's jumping to $13.99. It's pretty big. Hulu its ad-free tier was $14.99. That's going to $17.99. That's a 20%
fuck them.
fucking
Say that
jump.
again?
Hulu ad-free is going from $14.99 to $17.99.
Wow.
Oh, fuck
What a
you.
hike.
That is a huge jump. But what they're doing is they're keeping their ad tier products same price. Okay, $7.99. You can bundle it. Hulu, Disney Plus, $10 for ads, or $20 bundle Disney Hulu ad free. Whereas if you pay for them separately, that's like what, $38, $40, $30, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing this because they are going to.
Because of losing money.
Well, here's the thing. One, they are going to be merging Hulu and Disney Plus later this year, apparently.
Oh, shit.
Yes, I read that. So they're doing this to get people used to that. And I think they're doing this to push you to sign up for their ad tiers because I think they probably make more money with the ad subscriptions.
ads, probably.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably,
Wow.
you might be right. That's a first good business idea that's come out of your head ever.
They're blowing right past the asshole going for the large intestine. They're just going right
I mean,
for it.
they'll probably
That would
keep
seem to make
raising the
sense.
prices like drastically to where you're either going to just take it.
Because if you're going to sell ads, you want an audience to see the ads.
I think they make more
they're
money with
probably
their ad tier.
forcing you into the ad tier.
It's kind of shitty. Ads are annoying,
Yeah.
but it is a
you
big
know what? Ads are
savings.
annoying. But, I don't find it to be that annoying.
I mean, the irony also being Bob Iger is saying he's going to be reducing content. So they're slowing down on content and making you pay more for stuff that's now going to slow down.
Something's not right.
It's kind of odd. I've heard rumors that he may piecemeal sell off Disney, ESPN.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, he might sell it
to Apple.
I've heard. Disney to Apple.
Like he can sell, and that's the thing. He can sell ESPN off separately and Fox separately, and then sell the remaining Disney to Apple. Does Apple want to be in the theme park business? I don't know.
Isn't it crazy how fucking like a company that made billions of dollars is in such? How did they get to this point where they're
are
fucking this
freaking out.
shitty?
Yes, it's kind of crazy. Also, Apple. Did you know the world's first $3 trillion company? I think it might have went down, but they broke $3 trillion, which is insane. So yeah, and here's the big picture: Netflix, Peacock, Paramount Plus, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube Music all raised their subscription prices this year.
Oh shit!
Everything's going up. So I don't know. Did they start bundling? Do people start jumping and just subscribing for like 3 months and leaving things? Where you just set it and forget it, and you don't even know you're paying more, and they just keep raising the prices.
I'm waiting for all of these things to collapse and become one.
Well, Disney and Hulu's going to be one. I don't know what's going to happen with the other ones.
Because I don't know if we're going to be paying less, but at least we'll have to jump to less things to get stuff. Because right now it's like 9 things.
This shit,
and it should be like 5.
And it costs as much as fucking cable right now. All this shit, it's no different. So something has to happen.
Yeah, it is crazy. And then when they start cracking down on sharing, then it's really going to start affecting.
Yeah,
people.
so Netflix started doing that, and I think Disney also mentioned they are going to be doing that. So now they're giving you less content. You won't get to show your password, and it's going to cost fucking $5 more. This is great. You know what else is great? The next movie the MCU's putting out, the Marvels. I don't know if it's great, but we're going to assume
It's going to be wacky.
We're going to assume it's great as,
It's going to be silly.
the director, Nia DaCosta, has made some comments regarding superhero fatigue in the industry, saying she does think superhero fatigue absolutely exists. And now, how is she going to be different? She says the biggest difference from the other MCU movies to date is that it's really wacky and silly. Talking about the Marvels, the worlds we go to in this movie are worlds unlike you've ever seen before in the MCU. Bright worlds that you haven't seen before. All right, so we're going to get a really wacky and silly. Is it going to be like sound effects and like Three Stooges type? What? This is what we want?
Is it going to be fart jokes?
This is great. This is
in a Miss Marvel movie.
This is what everybody is going to the movies for.
Well, yeah, I mean, we all thought like Miss Marvel, the way Brie Larson played her was a little too uptight.
Yeah.
But
So
to say that we haven't seen Wacky Silly and we've just come off of Love and Thunder,
exactly,
and She-Hulk, and to a lesser extent James Gunn's Guardians. Like, what I don't know what are you talking about?
Yeah, we need a different kind of energy. That's all.
well,
I don't think Wacky Silly is the energy we're looking.
Yeah, I don't think that's what we're looking for.
We've been lacking, apparently.
We're looking for
That's what's different.
fantasy and escapism.
And
So
some,
figure that one out.
maybe a little bit of gravitas and stakes. But listen, a little bit of comedy in things now. That's how it is, right? Which it's my follow up question is what that dude Adam Devine, he made some comments this week, appearing on Theo Von's podcast while he was doing press for his Netflix comedy The Outlaws. Basically, he said that Marvel movies have killed the traditional Hollywood comedy. Okay. He said, quote, you watch comedies nowadays and you're like, this is not a fucking comedy. Where are the jokes? Where are the bits? They're still good comedies, but movie comedy, it's hard. My theory, I think Marvel ruined it. I feel like superhero movies ruin comedies because you go to the theater, you expect to watch something that costs $200 million to make, and comedy movies aren't that. So you're like, why would I spend the same amount of money to go watch a little comedy in the theater if I can get that spent, if I can spend that and watch something that's worth $200 million? And they still make those movies kind of funny. Like, oh my God, is that raccoon talking? This is hilarious, which it is, but it's not a real comedy. He got a lot of shit for this online too, but you know what? The man has a kind of a point. That
Marvel's a blame for the lack of comedy.
Well,
I don't know.
The Marvel type of movie where there's a little bit of everything.
I never was one to go to be honest with you, I was never one to go to the theater for
to see a comedy.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, unless I really needed to laugh or it was really, really well received.
Great comedies in theaters. Come on, dude, that's the best.
Yeah.
I just don't want to, as I said, I don't want to have to go out and be with around other people that I don't like to see a movie. I could just get the same effect of out of a small screen. You know, the same. Like, I don't need to. I mean, there is a communal. Everybody laughs and you laugh with everyone. That helps the movie. But if the movie's truly funny, then I can't like all the Adam Sandler movies that I love, like a Happy Gilmore, and
I did watch.
I saw them. I saw them all at home in my fucking little room.
Yeah,
and I fucking love them. I don't. Maybe they would have been better in the theater. Who knows? But I can enjoy them on a small screen. But like a movie with effects and like music that needs to like uplift you, or like when I went to go see Mission Impossible, I need to see on the biggest screen possible. Mm-hmm. I needed to see with a great sound system, and you know, it enhances the experiences to a huge degree. But I understand that the communal effect of like being in a room. Like, if you don't know when to laugh, you're the type of person that needs help to laugh. You might want to be in a theater. Is this funny? Oh, other people are laughing. I should be laughing too.
But
you know, but like, you never know. It's contagious.
I think. I mean, there's a roundabout way of getting to Marvel killed comedies, just because I think movies for a bit these past 10 years have been event more.
Yeah.
And comedies naturally just aren't event movies.
Yeah.
That being said, some of my best theater experiences have been seeing movies, comedies.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember seeing Analyze This in the movie theater and fucking think it was awesome. I remember seeing The Hangover, the first one.
Hangover was the one I thought of. I saw it in the theater.
Yeah, when I
saw, to me, that was the last one.
To me, like in terms of ranking movies that are fun to see in a movie theater, one would be like a big budget film, but right up next to it is like a comedy and a horror movie.
A good comedy. Oh, and a good horror movie. Sure. Yeah.
Right. Being scared next to a bunch of people.
The last comedy that I saw in the theater where it affected my perception of the film, that was like an all-out comedy, not like Barbie, but like that had some comedy in it, was or like a Marvel movie that has comedy in it, was Borat. And I saw that in the theater, and that was fucking an experience.
I think that was yes. I think I saw that in the theater too. They just there's just something.
I saw the wrong one in the theater. I saw
Bruno.
Do
you know he's bringing back Ali G, Sacha Baron Cohen? He's going to bring back Ali G all these years later. I think it's been long enough where there's going to be a bunch of people who don't even know who the fuck Ali G is.
Yeah, probably.
And you can do the bit again, which is amazing. But they just don't make like good comedies that come out in the theaters anymore. You had the Jennifer Lawrence one, didn't really do anything. There's a movie Joyride that didn't really do anything. That are kind of good comedies. It's just weird how there used to be.
I heard that they were good, but I'm not going to go to the theater to see them.
There used to be several comedies in theaters, like raunchy R-rated comedies, like and just bawling and laughing until you're crying.
I think you might see some of that come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that could be said about every genre. That could be said about the action movie genre. That could be said about dramas. That could be said about, like, there's just not a lot of variety in general.
That is true.
I feel like that there's a lot of people just like us kind of yearning for some kind of things that we grew up with.
Right.
Or things that are lacking in the market share. So like comedies being one, raunchy comedies with balls. I think that's missing.
So speaking of comedies with balls and no balls, have you seen the trailer for that movie Strays?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I saw dogs humping. And I was like,
it's like a Lassie or a Benji. It's a talking dog. It's
inappropriate,
R-rated, raunchy talking dog comedy that's coming out. It's got Will Ferrell, Dennis Quaid, Jamie Foxx, Isla Fisher, Sofia Vergara, Josh Gad, Rob Riggle. Doing the voices.
It reminds me of Sausage Party. Remember that movie?
I love Sausage Party. Look up the trailer though. It's raunchy as fuck, and like all the raunchy dog jokes you could make as dogs is hilarious. So it's very weird because it looks like a kid's movie, and it's very much not.
It reminds me of Sausage Party, which is the same thing.
Look like a kid's movie, but this is live ad. So this looks interesting. And again, you don't see movies like this coming out all the time, but Strays caught my attention. I was like, oh, what is this? This is a return to form. Anyways.
You know the last comedy I really liked?
Yeah.
I forgot to just real quick in the theater that had a great time just laughing with a bunch of people was Ted.
Oh, Ted was a good one too. Yeah. I mean, but you're right. A lot of these I did discover at home on VHS, but
I don't feel like I laugh as hard at home.
Yeah, I know. I laugh.
Maybe they have to be great movies. Like if they're I think you can go and see a shitty comedy in the theater and laugh a lot because it's contagious.
Right.
But the true test of a comedy is if it works at home. And there you go.
Are you able? Here's another comedy question. Can you, after you've seen a comedy, a really good comedy, can you watch it again and still laugh?
Oh,
the
absolutely.
Great ones you can.
Absolutely. You memorize the lines, you watch it over and over again, and like Airplane still holds up. I've seen that movie 100 times. It's still fucking hilarious.
Sure.
Airplane, yeah.
Seeing that in the theater would have been
Tropic Thunder still holds up.
That's
right?
Anchorman.
Anchorman's still fucking great. No problem. Yeah. Fucking Zoolander's great. Like, they're all like some great fucking ass movies.
Anyways, we'll have comedies coming. Still, they're still alive. Adam Devine, don't worry. Relax. By the way, his comedies aren't always the greatest. He was great on Workaholics. That Outlaws movie apparently is not that good. Anyways, moving on. There's a follow-up from the thing we talked about last week with Gal Gadot saying she had talked to James Gunn, Peter Safran, and they were going to continue developing Wonder Woman 3 with her. Well, apparently that's not correct. As Variety is reporting, a source to them has told them that they have no plans. Warner Brothers has no plans for Gal Gadot or Wonder Woman at the moment, which is interesting. So the big discussion has been, did James Gunn lie? Did Gal Gadot lie? Did they have this conversation? Did they have a conversation and each of them came away thinking different things? Maybe. What do you think? What do you think is happening here?
Quite a conundrum there.
Right?
Come out and have her say that, and then be like, that's not happening. I mean, like my first thought was, why would she lie? Unless she's just like pulling a reverse psychology of, well, now I'm going to force your hand and lie.
Well, I'm sure that they told her. She said, "I'm quoting." So
they told her something.
I feel like there was some kind of thing. She wouldn't say, "I'm quoting," like if she was making it up, or maybe she would, but who knows? But this is my personal opinion, is that James Gunn is gonna have Diana Melchior take over for Gal Gadot's
Ratcatcher? Daniela Melchior?
Yeah.
As Wonder Woman? Oh, that's
sure.
Oh, shit. That's a hot take.
He always employs his friends. That's what he does. And I can't believe when this is going to get announced.
Why doesn't he just make his wife Wonder Woman?
Well, that would be like really being an asshole.
You're going to recast everybody.
But I'm just waiting for that announcement to happen. Maybe it won't. But
was there a misunderstanding? I think it seems to be
like,
quite a mess over there, and they don't know really what they're doing.
Look, Gal Gadot is worked for Snyder. It did what she was fine. We can do a little better if we need to, but she was fine. Like there was no reason to, just like Henry Cavill.
Yeah,
I don't know what's James Cavill.
James Cavill. Who's that? James
I don't know
Carville?
who that is. James Carville, the bald guy.
Yeah.
Oh no, not
This
him.
what happens when you get old. You just start mixing names up.
Shut up, Anthony.
Henry Michael James Cavill.
Henry Cavill. There's no reason to get rid of him. All right. But now we got a guy that looks like Henry. Then we're going to get a guy that looks like Gal Gadot.
No,
Maybe we're going to get
Daniela Melchior does look like a Gal Gadot, but she's already Ratcatcher, and he's going to keep the Suicide Squad. So I don't know, but she would actually. Now that I look at photos of her, she would be good. She could do it. But I just think they got a lot of Batmans. They got a lot of things going on. So I just think it was a misunderstanding. She's technically still Wonder Woman, right? You cast somebody else.
Well, you can use her in an Elseworld.
I guess you could. Because how many Batmans are there? Who's the Batman? It's all very confusing.
No. But we know for sure shit that James Gunn's wife is going to be in it.
Well, yeah, well, she'll be in everything. Speaking of James Gunn and stuff that he said is part of his new thing, Blue Beetle is coming out next week. We will have full review. The first
that movie matters. Okay,
I mean, look, they put my only issue. Look, the first reactions are out, and it's getting a lot of praise as being funny, emotional, a love letter to the Latino culture. I think it's great for Latino families. My only issue is I feel like they showed us the whole movie in the trailer a little bit. That second trailer they keep showing.
Look, it sucks that you finally get like a Latino based movie of a superhero that like revolves around Latino-ness and everything, and then it's pretty much rendered like almost like
it's
irrelevant by what's happening in the greater DC universe. So it is a tough spot for them. I hope the movie's good enough to like propel it into the current status. I know that James Gunn has stated that, but you can't trust him.
No, but here's the thing. I listened to this on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast. It's called Inside of You. It's pretty good. He's got some good interviews.
Inside of You.
It's called Inside of You, which is a great title. Michael Rosenbaum. We have a drop of his.
Oh yeah, I listen to it all the time. He interviewed my favorite, Who Are You?
Oh, he did. I gotta listen to the Grillo interview.
Yeah,
no,
my favorite.
This was a couple months ago. I listened to this.
You know me. Who are you?
Who are you? You the discerning fan who enjoys. He interviewed James Gunn. I listened to it, and Gunn confirmed on there said that the first DCU character for sure is Blue Beetle, while Superman Legacy is the first full DCU movie. This isn't confusing
He
at
said
all.
that?
Yes, he said that. And it makes
but didn't he say...
It makes no sense.
Didn't he say when Shazam was coming out that like Shazam and the Flash, like all this was like part of it? But didn't he kind of hint at that
Even
too?
Shazam too? And I don't know.
I think he's making shit up, dude.
Yeah, I think he's testing the waters. There is... Blue Beetle is going to do horrible at the movie theater.
It was originally projected to only make like 12 to 15 million on opening weekend, but they've had some screenings. The word of mouth seems to be spreading on social media now.
Oh, early screenings are saying good things when the movie's opening? That never happens.
30 million US opening, which is still, it's not huge, but it's better than
that. Yeah, better than the 10 million.
It'll make 30. 30 is like a good safe
I think you can hit 30, and the trick.
If it doesn't, that's going to be a decision.
The tricky part is how do you promote this thing without access to any of your stars, without access to Cobra Kai kids?
They're just lame duck movies.
There are
the
two
faster they can,
but there's two post-credit scenes.
Yeah, so what? After these are all lame duck movies, and once they just got to get through these, and it's unfortunate. If this is a good movie, it's unfortunate. The marketing really hasn't done anything to make it look anything like stand out.
Yeah.
kid in a suit. So, it doesn't look any different than Iron Man or Spider-Man. I mean, they even in one of the trailers, they have a bus getting cut in half.
Yeah, where have we seen that before?
I feel like having this
several things.
like
yes,
like the Latino
Shang-Chi,
community
too.
is huge,
Yeah.
right? They should have been represented in a movie years ago.
Absolutely.
So
And
this
how
is
how
late.
relevant is George Lopez at this point?
I mean,
Yeah.
he's got a TV show with his daughter, I believe. Lopez and Lopez.
Like, this is late. They've used up all the tropes already, so now they're gonna get like the sloppy seconds, and it's not cool.
I feel bad
But,
because
like-
Jolo Maridueña is he's great on Cobra Kai, Miguel, and I want him to. This could have been like a big career boost for him, and it might still be. 2 post-credit scenes tells me they're setting something up, but I kind of am. I'm into the whole like Miss Marvel, Spider-Man.
Oh wait,
kind of
hold
vibe.
on. Let's take bets that James Gunn's wife is going to be at least in
You
one of these
think
post-credit scenes.
what Amelia Harcourt shows up in this?
Sure.
Didn't she show up in one?
She showed up
Oh,
in
in,
the not the
Black
Flash
Adam?
in Black Adam.
No, Shazam.
Shazam. She showed up in one of them. It was Shazam. Post-credit scene. Remember?
Or his brother is going to be in it.
I mean, to Imran, to say that there's a post-credit scene implies that they're setting something up is...
No.
Come on, Imran.
No.
They had Henry Cavill show up in a post-credit scene for
Point.
Black Adam, and then 2 days later they said, "Oh, Henry Cavill's not
That
going to be
is a
Superman
good
anymore."
point. That was awkward. Very embarrassing. But I think it's pretty open, right? Like you said, if it's good, then maybe you keep the character. If it does well, you can bring him in. And if it's lame duck, then moving on. Just forget about it. And then still Aquaman. So this is a Walter Hamada project that was originally intended for HBO Max also. And then they just developed it and pivoted. So
Well, it was better than Batgirl, apparently.
I guess it had to be better than Batgirl that got deleted off their servers. That movie never existed. Forget about it.
Did you see, speaking of deleted, real quick, before you go, did you see that like on Marvel's release schedule, Echo is not on there anymore?
Oh, they pulled Echo off? They also pulled Deadpool 3 off. That was the other big story, I think.
Oh yeah, well the Disney Plus, like I think the latest thing I saw was like Echo was not
Wait,
on the.
we have to, because Echo they were going to drop all at once. But I believe Deadpool 3 has been pulled off the release for now. Because remember they were shooting it? Did you guys see any of the set shots that were coming out? We saw the one with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, he's in the yellow suit.
There was another one where there was a big Fox Studios logo that was like broken down at the end, and they were shooting around that and they were fighting. Oh man, Echo also not on the release calendar. Oh shit, but that sounds like it was all done and they were just gonna squirt it out.
Yeah.
I just would love to be James Gunn.
Well, for Echo,
because he probably made a deal for like millions and millions of dollars to just suck. Like he's just going like there's no way any of this shit's gonna be good. It's just bad. It's and Marvel's already like tanking their shit too. So it's like all of this stuff. Like it's the worst time to get into the superhero business right now. It's like
if I was
the worst
Marvel,
time.
I would just not even release Echo.
November 29th. It still says, let's see if it still comes out. Yeah.
No one wants to see an Echo show.
Maybe
Like, don't unless you have a hit, do not release that show.
Like what? Like no one wants to see any of this shit. Really, to be honest with you.
I mean, again, this is a great time for James Gunn and DC to like finally plant their thing and do something different that's not Marvel. Marvel's showing their weak belly
Like
a little
every
bit.
great
You know what I'm saying?
property has already been burnt, either to good effect or to terrible effect. Like, you know what I mean? They've already burnt so much stuff. And so all that's left is like fumes right at this point. So it's like it's the worst time to get into this kind.
Yeah, I think it's a terrible time to get into this. I don't agree with what you said, Imran.
What?
That this is a great time to get into Flat Your Flag.
It's a good time for DC to take advantage. Maybe not. Maybe just overall the burnout is not going to help, even if you make the greatest fucking Superman movie ever and win everyone back and show up Marvel.
Did you see too on the Deadpool front? I think I saw that Taylor Swift got cast as the Dazzler.
Is that true? I think that's some fan cast. That would be amazing, though.
Wait.
Because
I saw that on a pretty
Taylor
credible
Swift
site.
as Dazzler is kind of perfect casting if you're going to do all the X-Men. But where's she coming in Deadpool 3? Yeah, there's X-Men in Deadpool.
Screen Rant has it.
Oh shit! As a
CBR.
Because there was an image of her like wearing a Deadpool costume going around. I saw that.
Wow, that's the end of the world right now.
I wouldn't be mad at that. It makes sense.
That's
She's
such a
directing
reach.
videos. She's fucking ruling the world. She can do whatever she wants now, apparently, I guess.
Yeah, it's like you could just be mediocre and be so famous. It's crazy.
Yo,
I guess maybe
I
it's
can't
a
believe it.
rumor.
I think
know.
it's a rumor.
Maybe-
I don't know.
yeah.
That would be kind of
That'd be funny though.
Well, the other rumor I saw about like tying things together was that what happened in Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness in Earth 838 may be the cause for like a war between that universe and the MCU. That may be explored inside Deadpool 3, possibly tie into Loki or something. That would be a nice way to continue that because that would be all like the Fox characters, right? Coming back, I guess, if Xavier was there. It could be like all the
thought I
Fox
saw
X-Men.
that. I thought I saw that, or maybe it was that, or I saw a rumor that those 838 characters were going to try to hunt down Wanda.
Oh, yeah,
Mark.
because she killed them all, right? She killed that Illuminati. So now they're trying to get her. And that could kind of work I don't know how you introduce Wanda in Deadpool or how Deadpool would get involved, but the TVA is also in Deadpool. So maybe Loki too has something to do with it. If they actually thought this out and threaded that through, that would be kind of fun.
You want to know what I think that the comic book movie making or content making like world needs right now?
What does it need, Rux?
It needs fucking Image comics from the 90s.
Oh,
it
God.
needs pouches.
Oh, yes.
It needs shoulder pads.
Okay.
It needs ridiculous guns. It needs girls
Giant guns.
with scoliosis, with huge tits.
Bending back.
This is what it needs. We need fucking high hair.
Rob Liefeld.
We need explosions.
Well-
we need speed lines. We need fucking Captain America with fucking misshapen boobs. We need it all.
Are you saying
This is what we need.
Rob Liefeld can save the entire industry?
I feel like that we're at the point where like
Might as well.
we need like a nice hit of adrenaline into this. We need to have fun again with fucking.
We
these
need
movies.
something, but we're gonna have to wait and see where it goes. But right now, we're gonna take a break, play some promos, and then we got something on the other side. We got a dope ass Hong Kong action movie to discuss right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey there, everyone. Brian here, host of TV Trivia Pod. It's a trivia-style podcast focusing on TV and movies. Listen in for questions like, what's the name of Michael Scott's screenplay? What do you say to view the Marauders map? And what's everyone eating in the post-credit scene of Avengers? Play along to TV Trivia Pod anywhere you get podcasts. And stay tuned for more trivia.
Check out what's been going on with the Pop Culture Cosmos Show and the PCC Multiverse.
That is by far my favorite because it's also character driven and the stakes are high and there's much more of a mystery and intrigue to it.
A game like Wolfenstein, which people are saying are one of the most socially important video games of the past 10 years.
Catch our shows on radio worldwide 7 days a week or at any time on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or on over 30 more podcast outlets.
Jock and Nerd.
Listener, if you enjoy the show, this is a good time to join our Patreon fan club. Just visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Jock and Nerd. There's a link in the description, and you can give back and support the show. Last week, we put a call out because this is episode 499. Remember, we're approaching 500.
Almost 500.
We put a call out to try to get some more Patreon subscribers. Well, fellas, we got one.
Yeah.
Huge thank
Wow.
you. Shout out to new Patreon member, Brian J.
Hell yeah.
Signing up this week.
Didn't think that would happen.
I know. It worked. Now we just need 17 more Brians to sign up once a week.
We want 500 patrons on our 500th show.
I'm
Let's
so
make that
excited,
happen.
Brian. I got to give you this.
I like turtles.
You get all the good stuff. So thanks so much, Brian. It's great. So we added one. Let's keep it coming. We are hitting 500 next week. Brian right now is enjoying such things as a bonus podcast feed that has the shows coming out early. There's bonus content, instant reaction, post shows, a lot of fun stuff. hours of extra things to listen to. Brian can also join us on our Discord Hangouts, monthly Discord Geekouts. This month it will be August 24th, Thursday, August 24th. Link at our Patreon page. And there's a tier where you can pick any movie you want us to watch and review just for you. So Brian is enjoying all those benefits. Be like Brian, listener.
Be like Brian.
There's another thing. Patreon and Spotify have done this integration where the Patreon-only content that you get as a paid member of the Patreon side, you can now listen to in Spotify. That's a plus.
Oh, shit.
I don't know. I clicked a button and it's synced up. I don't know what it looks like on the other side. So if anybody has any questions, issues, reach out. But you can listen to the exclusive Patreon feed in Spotify once you sign up. It gives you access. It's kind of fun. So
I like it.
All that cool stuff, jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Okay, let's get to our review this week. Before I play the spoiler alerts, I'm just going to tell you, we are reviewing John Woo's Hong Kong action film, Hard Boiled, from 1992. Anthony, why did we pick this movie, and what is their plan for the little tournament moving forward?
Yeah, we picked this movie because at some point in the near future, we are going to do our last tournament for the action movie genre. It'll be all the movies that we've talked about, but just the top 4 from the 80s, 90s, and 21st century.
Okay.
And given the fact that in the 80s and 90s we didn't include foreign films, we let Ruggs and Signor Bellotti pick
Johann Bellotti, yes.
Pick 2 action movies from the 80s that were foreign and 2 from the 90s that were foreign to fill in that gap. And those 4 movies will also be in the tournament for a 16-team all-time tournament.
Nice.
And Hard Boiled is one of the movies they picked. It is one of the 90s movies that they picked.
So what are those 4 movies that were added?
Yeah, great question. So it's Police Story, The Killer, Police Story 3AK, Super Cop, and then Hard Boiled.
Yes, Police Story from the 80s. We reviewed that already. So then I think Hard Boiled was a good one to pick from the 90s to give it a nice dive deep into.
Basically, John Woo or Jackie Chan.
Pretty much going up against each other.
I mean, they're at the top of their game in the foreign markets.
Yeah,
at that point.
It's a great addition. Definitely needs to be in there. I can't wait to do that tournament.
You know what? I can't believe there wasn't a John Woo film starring Jackie Chan. Like, why did that not happen?
Oh my God, we got to talk about that. Okay, hold on. First, spoiler alerts for Hard Boiled right now.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
That would have been kind of. I can tell you why. We'll get into that later. Anyways, Hard Boiled is a movie directed by John Woo. In fact, his last movie before he moved on to Hollywood, transitioned from Hong Kong to Hollywood director. He does Hard Target the next year, right? That's his next movie. On Rotten Tomatoes, this movie is standing at 92% with 71 reviews, 7.8 out of 10, 92% audience rating also. Made for a tiny budget of $4.5 million. And in Hong Kong, it makes $19 million. And it came out in the U.S. and only made like $71,000. Wasn't a huge release. Kind of, you had to go find it. I think I remember when it was out and people talking about it. This movie, like I said, directed by John Woo with a screenplay by Gordon Chan and Barry Wong, and starring in the lead as Tequila, Inspector Tequila, Chow Yun-fat, who has worked with John Woo on all his movies, I believe, right? Like, isn't he in The Killer? And that
all of the Hong Kong ones, he's in everyone.
John Woo and Chow Yun-fat have a great relationship working together. Also, you have Tony Leung Chu Wai.
More, but yeah.
Really? They had a falling
guy?
Yeah. Tony Leung Chu Wai playing Alan, one of the gangsters, and a bunch of other people that I'm not going to read their names. But you do have a character named Mad Dog. You got to have a character named Mad Dog always in these movies.
It's a rule.
Anyways, Anthony, had you seen Hard Boiled before? Have you heard of it?
No.
Really?
I'd heard of it, never seen it.
Going to art school in the 90s, I hung out with film majors who were into action movies, and they were all about these John Woo Hong Kong movies. So I remember hearing about this movie and watching it back in the college days.
It was like the holy trilogies, like A Better Tomorrow, The Killer, and Hard Boiled. All of his John Woo's
well-known,
three major ones.
It was the kind of movies where, like, dude, you got to watch this. And you got turned on to John Woo, and it was the best thing ever. So, watching it for the first time, Anthony, what happens in Hard Boiled? What is it about?
Hard Boiled is about a cop that is investigating the triads for some smuggling, and he accidentally kills an undercover cop. But that doesn't deter him, because he needs to still take down the triads who are still smuggling. And because he's on this path, he comes across another undercover cop. And then they got to work together and take down all the people and shoot a lot of guns. And that's the movie.
Yeah, kind of a little intricate crime thriller. You don't know who's who. So first time watching this, coming out now that we've watched all these action movies. What are your thoughts on Hard Boiled?
It's weird because I saw the John Woo. I feel like I've watched John Woo's career in the 80s and 90s backwards. The first ever John Woo movie I saw was Face Off.
Yeah.
You know, and I've seen Hard Target, and then I watched The Killer actually before I watched Hard Boiled.
Oh.
Done like a little bit of a different, like a roundabout way of getting to the Hard Boiled. So like a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing didn't surprise me, but then there's still stuff in the movie that surprised me. So, yeah, I mean, this is from I did a little research. This is like the cherry on top for John Woo, like the building of A Better Tomorrow. Yeah. And then The Killer, and then this is the last movie before he goes Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I can see why. I mean, this is just chaos. This is just mayhem.
I'm so glad that you saw The Killer before this, because it is like a great, like you can see you watch The Killer, then you watch this, you're like, holy shit, he really fucking amped it up to like 11.
Yeah, he went, 13, whatever number you want to, he went all the way. And this is the gun fu, this is the heroic bloodshed. This is the start of, where we get to today, where you've seen like the John Wicks and the Extractions, where it's a lot more precise, but this is more stylized violence. It's just fucking mayhem, man. I don't even know. Yeah, like you're a little desensitized to it, but still, like seeing all that shit happen, it's just a crazy fucking movie. I mean,
well, you're in a strange place because you've watched it now after you've watched all of the great action movies already, like of our time. So now you gotta go back and you're like, oh, you gotta put this in context of like, oh, they weren't always shooting guns and shit like this in other movies. This is like the one.
No, yeah. I was trying to compare it to like the 80s and 90s movies around that time.
Like Commando or something like that,
Like a Commando or like a Terminator or like I don't even know, like the Universal Soldier. Like you were seeing stuff, but it wasn't like this. I mean, the blood splatter and the amount of shots in the body and sliding and
so much
just the amount of people.
This is the most unsafe fucking shooting
this movie
fucking experience probably anyone ever had. Like, how many squibs had to go off?
Yes,
how many times people went through glass? I love the fact that like people just dive through glass when they get shot.
They're flying through
front
the
flips
air
when they get shot.
Yeah.
Like it's just.
I mean, it is.
The movie is literally like bullets, blood, and people flying through the air.
High body count, very bloody.
Oh, I mean, so many innocent people. I mean,
innocent people die. It is a ballet, though. It's kind of a ballet of action, the spectacle. I've never seen a movie with so many shootouts and people jumping with two guns and shell cases flying in slow motion is the coolest shit. So many, all those squibs, hundreds of squibs, hundreds of rounds of bullets. Unbelievable stunt work. Like it's so insane and it's relentless and reckless and you're almost exhausted by the end of it.
But there's no reality to it. They're like, there's like a heightened like stylization that makes it like, it's not right. There's no like I can't even say the name. Verisimilitude.
But there's almost
but yeah, there's none of that.
There's almost something charming about kind of seeing the squibs, though. Kind of seeing the stuff that's being used.
Like there's like a squib dance that they do.
Oh, there was?
It's like the squib shuffle where they're like, I'm getting hit by bullets.
And if you don't know what a squib is, listener, it is essentially a charge of like gunpowder in a packet with blood that is wired and it has to be set off and timed. And also the guy's got to be protected so it doesn't blow in and fucking burn you. But that's a little mini fucking gunpowder explosion, right? Essentially, that's just going off over and over again on everyone. You got to wire this shit up. It's so much work to put these things together. But you could see how like Tarantino gets inspired by a lot of this and a couple other directors.
Oh yeah, that movie Shoot 'Em Up with Clive Owen is like an ode to this. It's just nonstop shooting. Yeah.
Lots of slow mo, but I didn't mind. Like the slow mo kind of works, and when John Woo does it in this movie.
Well, like, yeah, because you're watching it. You have to be in 1992 when you're watching it. No one was doing slow mo like
this. This fucking blew our socks off. We're like, what the fuck is this? By the way, the whole movie is on YouTube, available free to watch. Oh, you don't even have to rent.
I mean, that first shootout in the with the freaking birds.
Let's talk about this cafe.
Let's stop
I
here.
don't even know what kind of place is this?
Is
that you just have bird cages sitting over.
So you go to get
coffee.
tea.
Yes.
So you go to get tea, and they give you a bird.
Yeah, they give
or
you
bring your bird.
No.
Do you bring your own bird?
I think you can rent the birds there. I think you go there.
I was just thinking about how unsanitary that is. You just have bird shit.
Bird shitting while you're trying to eat crackers.
Sitting over your table.
It's wild, but I didn't understand it either. But I liked how they used the bird cages. And
I think John Woo just likes birds.
Hiding the guns inside the bird cage.
How can we get birds in this scene?
So
the scene makes no sense, right?
Right.
Like, why is the undercover guy shooting up everybody? He's doing himself no favors as the undercover guy. Like, he deserves to get shot.
Oh, this movie script doesn't even know what it's doing.
They're buying like 2 guns at a time that are in the bottom of a bird cage. Like that's all. That's it. All this is just getting 2.
But the scene, the part that makes it for me is not just. I mean, everyone's getting shot, but when he goes down the fucking staircase,
dude, sliding down
on his back,
shooting with 2 guns is the fucking most badass thing.
First of all, no one had ever done that before.
I don't Chow Yun-Fat does this whole action scene with a fucking toothpick in its mouth like a fucking badass.
He was smoking a cigarette.
Oh yeah,
with a toothpick in his mouth. I love. Now, is that before Cobra or after Cobra? I don't even know.
Cobra.
Oh, this is after Cobra was in the 80s, so maybe he was doing a Cobra. Saw Stallone do it. But fuck I love the sliding down double gun shooting is fucking fantastic, and all these
sliding down and then him chasing down the undercover guy that we don't know is undercover, and then like being covered in flour next to him.
Yeah, that as he blows him away and the blood just splatters on his face and he's all in the white and his buddy gets killed. It's a fantastic scene. So many kneecaps are shot out in this movie. Also, everybody's kneecap.
I just don't get like. It's a great scene.
Yeah,
I just don't get like the bad guys are so bad that they're like. Where people are running out of the restaurant, they're like, "Get the fuck out of my way! So I'm going to kill you."
Later on, they just killed like the hospital people that were trying to evacuate. Like these bad guys don't give a fuck.
Oh yeah,
they killed a staff.
There's no humanity in anyone in this movie.
It's amazing.
No, yeah, it's like the complete lack of humanity, but then it makes it's like, why is this entertaining?
It's like Grand Theft Auto. It's like you're just fucking taking people out for no apparent reason.
Of it is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's complete mayhem.
Then let's get to the next action scene when the warehouse raid, when Jimmy Wong, Scott Allen, and they're gonna hit Uncle Hoy's place, and Allen's kind of turned on his uncle. And I just love they're driving in, and there's just like guys with grinders, and there's sparks flying. I don't know why, just because it looks cool. But this whole fucking sequence, so many explosions and motorcycles exploding and people flying through the air. It is fucking insane.
Things explode for no reason.
For no reason.
Things fall apart. Like someone shoots a gun and like a whole entire scaffolding falls apart.
He shoots a car.
There's no reason for this to happen.
Explodes. Right. So first, like the gang shows up and they descend, and then there's that whole deal with Alan and Jimmy Wong, and he kills him or whatever. And then fucking Tequila, right, just shows up by himself. There's no backup. He's on the roof. He's tossing in smoke grenades and then comes fucking swinging down like Spider-Man with an automatic rifle shooting everybody. But there's like, there's like 30, 40, 50 gang members here. It's just him. He takes out everybody.
It's just him, and he's been warned not to like get involved.
Yeah, they told him not to pursue this case. You're off the case.
Yeah, because they want their inside guy to fucking work this shit.
He's gonna blow the undercover guy's spot.
Wait, but take a one step. We can go back to this real quick, but one step back, even like how this movie is so stupid but yet so funny and like
so
good.
Great.
Is that scene where Tony Leung's character kills the guy in the library? Right, with the gun hidden in the book.
Yes, I didn't understand any of this and left the blood on it.
Like, well, I didn't see. He used a silencer. Why does he leave the gun in the book?
He puts it back
with the blood on
and I'm like, there's clearly they're gonna know there was a book here.
And then Chow Yun Fat is just like,
oh,
that looks like a book was there.
Yes, there was a
and
book.
then he figures out what aisle the book is on. It's like, what?
Chow Yun Fat is this blood stain is book-sized hole in it.
Look, people were dumb back in the day.
And then he
We're smarter
finds
now.
the same fucking book, and the gun is in there.
And the guy left the gun in there.
Did he wipe the prints? What was he doing? I didn't understand why he had to do anything.
And then him finding the gun. What does that even lead to?
I mean, there's a couple of story things like you got the cards and the flowers, and there's code and there's stuff going on. Like,
oh yeah, they're doing the like fa la.
Yes, they're singing. They're trying to do the scale.
Singing of the code.
Was one of those songs like "Hello" from Lionel Richie?
No, I don't know. Maybe. But the music's great. You hear a lot of like. By the way, Tequila is a cop who plays jazz clarinet. That's how cool he is.
He does. Yes.
That's how cool he is.
And John Woo is in the movie as the bartender.
Yes, John Woo's in the movie.
He used to be a cop.
Yeah, he's like his mentor, his sounding board. His name is Mr. Woo. Apparently, the script for this movie kept changing all the time. Like Mr. Woo was added and Johnny Wong was added. And originally, the bad guy was supposed to be like a baby poisoning psychopath. Like he was poisoning baby food.
Well,
they changed
They also... He got a a lot of criticism for glamorizing gangster life.
Yes.
So he made Chow Yun Fat a police officer.
So he's like, I'm going to do one where I glorify the cops just to balance it out. And this is kind of what he does. So
yeah, but I'm still going to throw babies.
But there's
into
still
the
got to be babies, of course. We'll get to that scene. It reminded me of the Flash. I kept thinking about the Flash.
Oh my God, where's the microwave when you need one?
Yes, he needed the microwave. But no, back to Tequila swinging down from the ceiling. There's another great moment where that dude Mad Dog lights his cigarette with like a car on fire. I love that shit. But Tequila taking down fucking motorcycles in midair with what is that? Fucking grenades. He's just shooting. I love it. He shoots the motorcycle. It goes down. It's sliding towards him. He leaps up, shoots the other motorcycle while he's in the air. That one explodes.
Oh yeah, he like leapfrogs one motorcycle and shoots another one in midair.
That shit is the shit right there.
Like if I didn't see Jean-Claude Van Damme do this,
he did it a year later
in another movie, I would have been shocked. But like, yeah, like that's the shit this movie does. It just, there's a motorcycle guy who jumps into the back of a truck and hits a bunch of boxes.
Yeah, he drives right
and
into
I know
the
the
truck.
stuntman like died doing that.
He drives right into the truck. And
I just love whenever people get shot, they just are flying off their feet, going backwards.
Bullets send you flying backwards, especially 100 of them.
There's no way that someone didn't die on the set of this. There's
Somebody
gotta
had
be
to
like
got
multiple
hurt.
body counts.
Glass in the eyes at the very least. There's so much fucking glass and shit
People are
exploding.
on fire.
Yeah.
They're getting launched off things.
None of this is CGI fire. These are all real explosives that they had to time and set and just blow up. There's a scene later where fucking Chow Yun Fat's running with the baby down the hallway, and there's legitimately bombs going off behind him. I believe Chow Yun Fat goes, I fired them a little bit sooner, so it looked like it was closer to him as he was running. Like, no regard for fucking safety, possibly. But then you get amazing things. I also love the standoff at the end of this with Alan and Tequila, and they both got guns to each other. And Tequila just pulls the trigger right away. He was just going to shoot him in the head. And he's out of bullets, and then Alan just walks away, and then they find out about each other.
Well, that's Wu loves a good Mexican standoff.
That is the Mexican standoff. He's always got to have
There's a lot
one.
of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them in this movie. What'd you think, Anthony, when it was all said and done? How did you feel about this movie?
Chaos, man. I just thought it was chaos. I really enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, but it's just a weird movie experience because I've watched history in reverse. So I've seen what it looks like, where it's much more realistic, not as like over the top, but like much like some style, but not like this, right? So this is like,
yeah, there was just like
ballet of violence.
Yes,
I feel like glorious. In the 80s and 90s, there was just no like like, number one, the audiences were stupider. Like, I'm gonna just put that out there. Like, whatever. Like, there wasn't a culture of like fans of stuff. People would just kind of like were very casual about how they went about things. I think that these movies created the fandom, like the action movie fan. And so it was very early on in the infancy of people being fans of action films, and people were just hungry. It didn't really matter. Like, just like with horror movies, people didn't really care about scripts or if anything made sense. They just wanted to see something new and dynamic. And this thing, it brought something batshit crazy to you, and you were like, holy fuck. And then, yes, it did. This thing rippled throughout the whole industry. John Woo becomes a staple of American action, and to the point where he goes into the premier flagship American action movie genre, which is Mission Impossible, and directs the second movie. So I feel like he skyrocketed to the very, like, the cream of the crop is Mission Impossible, right?
I mean, when we get to that hospital scene, I mean, it is just, I don't know how long it is. Maybe, what, 30 minutes?
It's long. Like, the whole third act is in this hospital.
It is mayhem. I mean, when there's so many things to talk about. One of the ones that sticks out to me is when Tony Leung's character and Mad Dog are like in this like ballet of chasing each other and shooting each other.
Yeah.
And they're just like running down the hallway, like on opposite sides of the walls, shooting at each other.
Shooting through each other. Like, one will jump out through one window and the other guy jumps through the other window in the corner. Right. It's just insane.
That, and I mean, the long take where it's like the track. Like, the thing about what I liked about Woo in this movie is he used the tracking shots during action scenes, but he also used tracking shots during like non-action scenes. So it just created this whole like very visceral, grounded atmosphere in a situation that's not at all like grounded. There's so much violence that it's like is not real.
There's a fantastic 3-minute long one take shot in the hospital, and it's actually quite smart. They go through the hospital, shooting everything up, stuff is exploding. They go in the elevator, and then that gives them a chance to have some dialogue, some character development, and the elevator opens on another floor. Well, what they did was when the doors closed, the crew really quickly had to redress, reset all the explosive, change the setting, the set behind the elevator so it looked like another floor, and then they just came out and started blasting people, blowing shit up right away. The timing and the choreography of that is it's impressive. I love the one.
There's a part right in the beginning of the long take where Tequila Yoon has a shotgun, so they blow up the first two people, and then it literally makes no sense. Chow Yun Fat's character is pointing the shotgun at a glass like window or whatever. Yeah, and some guy jumps out the window and gets shot midair. It's like, why was how did he know there was a guy there that was going to jump through a glass window and he shoots him midair?
A little bit of it became like a video game or like a carnival game where things are popping up and you just got to shoot them down. Oh yeah, like it had that effect a little bit. I love Alan walking into the hospital with the shotgun in the box of flowers, like the fucking T2. This would have been after T2. It's very T2.
Yeah,
the guys, like, sometimes they don't even try to hide. Like, they're just in the middle of a hallway, just like shooting at people.
Oh, there's so many people in the crossfire too, regular people.
And they kept cutting to the babies, and I was constantly like, who's going to save the babies? That's a bunch of babies. How are you getting all the fucking babies out there? And it was quite harrowing with the babies getting them out the window and him fucking leaping. It's fantastic. Them sliding out from the morgue drawers and shooting and killing. It's fucking fantastic on the gurney.
Oh, I wrote that down. Yeah, that one where they dive through the morgue drawers.
Fantastic.
And come through the other side and start shooting.
Oh, yeah. In that 3-minute scene, Alan kills the cop accidentally and has the whole fucking conversation about, did I kill a cop? I thought that was interesting. Like, he threw in some
he said, don't worry about it. Don't. Like,
he's like, did I? He goes, yes. And he's like, fuck.
And he just basically tells him, stop being a pussy.
Yeah. He's like, it happens. I did it too.
It happens.
Yes, the patients evacuate, and then they just start mowing down the fucking patients for no reason.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Alan!
That's when Mad Dog turns and is like, oh.
So I don't understand. Alan
Can't kill innocents.
Alan on the boat got shot in the back. And then he was fine.
with a shotgun.
Yes.
He gets sprayed with a shotgun, like 3 or 4 shots in the back.
He's fine. And then later, he literally electrocutes himself to get the door open. He's fine. This man.
John Woo does this in both The Killer and this, and probably in A Better Tomorrow, where like the main guys get shot, like brutally shot.
They
They're
should
just
be
like
dead.
up and still shooting.
Yeah, they're still going. Yes.
Yeah, it's just it's just a flesh wound. But like that dude with the Mad Dog was fucking like the Terminator.
Mad
in
Dog
this
was
movie.
fucking intimidating. Yes, when he's coming after you.
I didn't. He does the turn. He turns into like
He did turn. He wanted to save the patient.
sympathetic
Yeah.
character. Tried to redeem himself at the end.
Turned on Johnny Wong and tried to shoot him and then got killed. But yeah,
I wouldn't have done that. I would have had him go out like a fucking punk ass. But
You know,
like,
speaking of like stupid and stuff, because of movies like this, I always thought that like just getting shot wasn't a big deal. Like if you got shot in like on your arm, your shoulder, or your leg,
you're like this.
You could keep going.
You'll make it. You'll be fine.
You might fly
I didn't
through
realize
the
how
air.
much
You
that
just
would
gotta
blow
rally. Yeah.
Wait, what is it? Do you fly through the air or can you just get up and keep going? Like they're showing us both things when you get shot. I guess it's.
I mean, they literally just like get hurt, grab it
listen.
for a little bit, and then keep going.
Yeah.
In these movies, you got to get shot like 30 times before you die.
That other great moment is when he's running with the baby, shit is exploding, and then his legs are on fire. Remember? And then the baby pees and puts out the fire.
That lad made me
That's
laugh.
amazing. And then
Well,
him.
before that, he's singing a lullaby
Oh,
to the
yes.
baby and shooting them.
Yes.
Shooting people.
He put cotton balls in the ears in his defense, so the baby couldn't hear.
It's a cute baby.
It was a very cute baby, and then that must have been a stunt guy. That's not Chow Yun-fat. The jump out of the building with the baby in the arms and the fucking explosion behind him was fucking. That was great.
Well, even when they're evacuating the babies earlier than that, it's just like so stupid. Like they're evacuating the babies through a window, and they know that there's people on the roof. Like shooting at them.
yes.
Like, what kind of decision is this?
They don't shoot any of the babies. They draw the line at
terrible.
shooting babies, apparently, which is probably a good call.
But they also have the blood splatter.
They
on
did
the
have the
baby.
blood splatter on the baby, and he had to wipe it off. I was like, Jesus Christ, really? I was the whole time. I was like,
when the blood splatters on the baby, I was like, wow.
I think they should have killed at least one baby.
I mean, they stopped.
baby
They
should
were
have
killing
gotten shot.
everybody else, and they stop at killing
It's
babies.
it's unfathomable that like they all got out fine.
Yeah, all the babies
out
were
the
fine.
window,
down. Yeah,
under the radar. Like one baby should have fucking got.
There's fucking cop cars exploding.
Did you see this, Imran, back in the day or no?
I did see this in college once. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was.
Oh yeah, it was demand viewing.
Yes.
Like stories of this movie reverberated throughout everywhere.
Like people gather to watch.
That's what I want to know. Is like take yourself back to '92 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like what was this like when it came out?
Well,
I just remember like someone coming up to me and saying, "Have you seen Hard Boiled or any John Woo movie yet?" And I'm like, "No," and they're like, "You got to get to it like ASAP because." The amount of squibs, that's all they told me. Like, the amount of squibs that they use in this movie is insane.
Squib work is intense.
And I'm like, okay. I'm like, so like, there's a lot of blood. He's like, oh my God. There's just people like, they have like, they're outfitted with probably from like head to toe with squibs that are just going off at any moment. And I'm like, okay. So I saw The Killer first because that came out first. And I was like, okay, this is impressive. But then when I saw Hard Boiled, I was like, holy shit, this is like on like The Killer was like already crazy, but like this one is even more nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the acrobatics and it was just ridiculous. Like the baby thing, like everything was just crazy.
For me, like it was the perfect timing of events. I'm in fucking art school in Brooklyn. It's the early 90s. It hits at the right time, inspires everyone to want to make fucking action movies. Like we would just go around, walking around all day going, wouldn't it be cool if you were jumping and you had two guns and you were flipping? Like we would come up with our own action scenes in our head that we wanted to shoot because of shit
all
like
of
this.
all of the film students were shooting John Woo.
I was like a bad guy in this movie where the good dude's girlfriend was like a ninja and she kills me and I fall down.
Wet Death Part 3.
That's what it was called. And I had fucking fake blood and we did all this shit. And like, that's all we wanted to do. And we were watching Tarantino movies inspired by like Pulp Fiction and True Romance and shit like this. We just talk about how the coolest ways you could have two guns and jump and shoot. How do you shoot that to make it look cool?
You need to be sliding or on like some kind of a skateboard,
or rolling. Like the contrived action, it was just juicy. Like it just satisfied everything. And this is like the master of contrived fucking action scenes right here. So yeah, I remember a scene where he slides down the banister with the baby and he's wearing a police uniform. Is that a different movie, Ruggs?
I think you made that up.
I could have swore
it could be a Mandela effect.
I think I mixed up my thing because I remember him sliding down the banister with the baby, shooting at a bunch of dudes. But
I think that might
maybe I made that in my head after watching this and combined all the things. But that's not in this. But that would have been because there's a poster with him in a uniform holding a baby. He never wears a cop uniform though in this movie. So I wonder if that was a cut scene or an alternate. Or was it a fucking Mandela thing? And I'm just
speaking of like weird stuff that actually did happen in the movie. Yeah. What was the deal with Tony Leung's character Andy sending Chow Yun-Fat's Yun's ex all the flowers?
No, what
was going on?
He was the inside guy, and he was sending them information through the lyrics
through the flowers.
and the code. That but he did. But
got it.
But Tequila didn't know that, so all he sees is some dude
sending white flowers.
You know they're remaking these movies.
What?
You know
they're remaking?
Well, this one I read that they've been trying to remake this for years, and it keeps stopping and starting. Like there was one where it was going to be, was it this one or The Killer? Where it was going to be Richard Gere as the cop, and then and then Denzel as the
bad guy.
Denzel as the cop, and Richard Gere as the insider.
Oh, as the inside guy,
like way back.
I could see that happening.
Yeah, they're gonna do The Killer. They're trying to do The Killer too. Yeah, but they're trying to remake these movies. Like, there's no reason to remake these movies. Like, the plots are not good. Don't remake them.
It's just the spectacle and just I don't know.
Just make a movie where guys have to shoot guns. Don't
that's what the John Wicks are essentially.
Like I can understand you were making Old Boy because the plot of Old Boy is so unique and so you have to recreate that film. Because whatever for reasons, but. Like, there's no reason to recreate this. Just make a movie like it, inspired by it.
Here was the I got it kind of fucked up. It was for The Killer. They were going to remake it. Walter Hill was going to direct it in '92 with Richard Gere and Denzel Washington.
Oh, for The Killer.
For The Killer, and then they got all fucked up, and then they said the reason they didn't make it is they thought the script would be too homoerotic.
Oh God.
So then. They were going to make another one in like 93. Then they were going to make one in 2007. And the latest they've gotten to 2015. And now they're at 2022. 2022 was going to be Omar Sy. I don't know who that is. And then now it's in March of 2023. Natalie Emmanuel is going to be the lead. Who's the Missandei in the fucking...
Game of Thrones. In The Killer or Hard Boiled?
The Killer. The Killer is the one they keep trying to remake.
So they're gender swapping the one character.
But yeah, you're I mean, actually the Killer is more, if we're comparing the two, because I saw The Killer this week. The Killer's more like there's actually some meat on that story.
Yeah, the story's more tragic.
Right.
It's kind of like a Fisher King where like someone is responsible for someone's life getting fucked up and they're like in their debt. So it's got some meat on it.
I have not watched that.
And
yet.
he like befriends. You haven't watched The Killer?
No, I gotta watch it this week.
Oh well, we won't spoil it. But yeah, there's I would say of the two, I gotta see it better tomorrow now. But of the two, The Killer's more story driven.
Okay.
Like there's actually some
the script is better.
Yep.
It's just more melodramatic.
Dude, yes.
This script though this
one is bonkers.
This one they're literally making shit up as they go. So the whole tea house sequence was shot before they even had a script. The story goes the crew found the tea house and John Woo saw the staircase and he goes, wouldn't it be cool if someone would slide down there and shoot with two guns? Exactly what I would have said. And they just do this whole sequence while they were shooting. Though they were interrupted by actual local triads in the area bugging them for protection money so that they would keep him protected. So it's kind of art replicating life there. But literally, John Woo's like, oh my God, it would be so cool if this guy slides down. And then they just do the scene before there's even a script and write it in. And I said before, at first he was going to be like a baby poisoning psycho, and then people thought that would be weird. And they changed everything. So you could tell they're kind of just fucking writing this as they go, but it's fine because the spectacle, the stunts are this movie. The squib work is this movie.
Yeah.
Apparently in 2007, there was a video game sequel that came out called Stranglehold.
Oh yeah, you could in this video game you could be Chow Yun Fat or someone like Chow Yun Fat and just slide downstairs and shoot guns.
Oh my God,
2 guns with unlimited fucking rounds. People,
I would play that all day.
We've spent a lot of time on action movie stars from the 80s and 90s, but I feel like this is Chow Yun Fat's time on the show.
Yeah.
So I'll give my quick thoughts on the guy.
Yeah.
He looks like a schmuck to me. But for some reason, I wouldn't say he's like super cool, but I buy into it.
Yeah.
I buy into the fact
he's like
that this guy's...
he's like a tall drink of water.
Yeah.
He kind of like has some charisma.
He's got some swagger. He's got some presence.
No, he definitely has swagger.
Yeah.
I think what's different about him is he's not doing the martial arts, right? So he's like the Lone Ranger cowboy type. I saw someone compare him to like a Steve McQueen or a Clint Eastwood, and I do see that kind of vibe, although probably not as good looking. I don't know what he's kind of like baby fat. It's just a weird look.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I get that. I got that too. But he makes it work, and there is some hand-to-hand combat, right? But it's largely just shooting.
This isn't your like martial arts film,
which is why, like, if Jackie Chan and John Woo made a movie,
what
that
a
would
fucking
be
movie
crazy.
it would be.
Like, would he make Jackie shoot
I
more
don't think
guns?
Jackie would ever be on board for this kind of fucking wanton destruction.
Right. It seems a little dark.
I think it's a little, the dichotomy there is a little too much.
Yeah. I don't know if that will work, but I would want to see it.
The closest you got was Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Which I think him making Hard Target after this is amazing, and that is a great movie.
Which is why it's one of the best movies ever made. Like, bar none. That's why it is. Because you have a martial arts star in a John Woo movie.
Right.
And you never get that again. I don't think you ever get a martial arts star.
No.
Like, you get John Travolta, a Christian Slater, you get Nicolas Cage. So,
but yeah,
you never get like a fucking dude with athleticism brings it to the table.
Can't believe you told us to watch The Killer and you haven't watched
I haven't watched it yet because I was watching Hard Boiled. I should have watched that one first. I even gave you the file.
Well, The Killer is a good primer because it shows you like John Woo's like melodramatic side.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's very it's like watching a soap opera with guns.
Nice.
Yep.
And then Hard Boiled is literally his Hard Boiled movie. Yeah. Like, he's like, fuck all the melodrama. I'm going to just fucking have people blowing each other away for no apparent reason. Without like, there's not like really any emotional impact in this movie.
Yeah, that's true.
At all.
That's true. You don't really like, I learned more, like Alan had more of like a character arc than fucking the lead Tequila, right?
Yeah, no, you invest more in Alan.
Absolutely. Like, and I loved all the character stuff with him, but Tequila is just there like the fucking Punisher, just mowing people down.
Because Alan, you have this situation where he's been lying this whole time and he's going to have to like give away his life for this.
Yeah.
But then like Tequila is just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to come in guns a-blazing.
Yes.
They can come after me. I don't care.
I'm going to get revenge. You killed my
He's
fucking
like, stop
buddy.
being a pussy. You killed a cop. So what? I did it in the first scene.
And it's funny because first he tells him, no, it wasn't a cop. And then like 2 minutes later, he's like, yeah, it was a cop.
It confused me in the moment. I was like, wait, was that the guy? Why is he telling him it's not the cop?
He's trying to make him feel better.
Right. And then he gets in the elevator. He's like, no, it was a cop.
And he's like, shit.
Fuck.
No, it's so great. All right. I thoroughly enjoy this. Let's give it a rating, a ranking. I think if you are a fan of the action genre, like this is a must see on your list. Anthony, what would you give it?
I think if I was back in 92.
Oh, fuck. It was the shit in 92.
It was probably a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Again, I watched this with a weird trajectory of watching John Woo and just action movies in general. But it's still solid. I mean, if it would only be a 10 out of 10 for me if the plot made like a little sense, but and then some of the decision making. But that being said, it's still a 9 out of 10.
Nice.
Oh wow, that's high, way higher than I thought you would get.
Oh yeah,
wow.
You got to transfer. You got to transform yourself back to when that was going on, when
Absolutely.
this came out, and then think about where we are now and like how Woo influenced a lot of this shit.
Yeah, I guess like if you put it in perspective, is it a great film? No. But is it a great action film doing shit that influencing just being very creative in how you do things and taking a lot of liberties and being stylistic and actually introducing the world to a style? I feel like it is a trailblazing film. Like he's already done some of this stuff in his other movies, but he's basically perfected it at this point. You're never going to, like, even in his American films, you're not going to see the body count that you see.
I don't think
in
there's
this.
a movie that has a higher body count. Like if you drank for everybody that died.
I think if you count the bullets in this movie,
hundred thousands.
you're in the billions.
Easily. So many fucking blanks. I was gonna give it a 9
Wait,
as well, just because of my
Did Ruggs give it a number?
Ruggs. What number are you gonna give it?
I was gonna give it like an 8.
No, you give
Yeah.
it 8. I'm giving it a fucking 9 because I remember watching this in college and just being blown
Very
away.
enjoyable.
And yeah, it is a fucking you've never seen so many explosions. And it's all real. It's all real explosions and fucking squibs and people flying. It's fucking fantastic.
Do you like this movie better than Hard Target or Face Off, Ruggs?
No, I like Hard Target better.
Oh wow.
Because it's
he lights you up with a clip and does a roundhouse kick.
Yeah, I think that's really like. There's only one way you could get more mileage out of John Woo, is that if you have someone not only firing like a clip into someone like Chow Yun
and kick him,
but you do a flip while you're on fire and then you talk to a bird afterwards.
Yes. According to the Google machine, there are 307 people killed in Hardboiled.
Oh shit, that's a big body count right there.
Look, I like every John Woo movie. Every John Woo movie to me is like, okay, it's on my watch list. It's in my collection. I don't have this one on. It was very hard to get on DVD, but I do have other John Woo movies. So yeah, it's like definitely a watch. It's totally a watch, and it's not his best film. Like I think The Killer has a better script. I feel like his other movies are like Face Off are pretty creative, and they have like a little bit more gravitas, but just sheer balls of using this many bullets.
Nobody had ever done that.
What does A Better Tomorrow rank? Because that's the first one that came out of him. And
I
Chow
feel
Yun.
like it's a little. It's more. It's like melodramatic, like The Killer, but it doesn't have as many action sequences. I think it's like the lowest amount. Yeah.
So he just kind of ramped up.
Yeah.
As he went along. The other one I keep hearing about that people really like is Bullet in the Head.
Oh.
By John Woo, which was with Tony Leung, but I don't know really much about it.
Let's not forget, I mentioned this a long time ago. What he's working on now is a movie called Silent Night with Joel Kinnaman. This is a completely dialogue-less Christmas revenge movie. There's going to be no dialogue, apparently.
Cool.
Yeah. Apparently the movies he's released lately in the last 15 years have been not great.
Well, he was taking paychecks. He did Wind Talkers.
Yeah.
But then he came back with Red Cliff, and that was a cool
Red
movie.
Cliff
And
and
that
Red
was out of
Cliff
his
2.
That was out of his wheelhouse. That is not a John Woo, like typical John Woo movie. It's like there's none of this Hong Kong shit in there. Like, I mean, as far as like the guns and the fucking, it's a very like it's a period piece. It's very he does it like very, very well.
Then he did The Crossing and The Crossing 2, and then Manhunt was the last thing in 2017, and he's been working on this Silent Night. So yeah, John Woo, definite. I will watch
John Woo from
early John
86
Woo, fucking
to 97.
2000. Mission Impossible 2.
He was bad.
Okay,
yeah, he was bad. He was bad in the
Paycheck?
thousand.
Might not be a better action director in that period.
No,
absolutely solid film. All right, let's do some news from the nation.
It's time for news from the nation. It's time for news from the nation.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
I got one thing in news from the nation. I'm going to help out our buddy John.
Only one?
John Bellotti Jr. Just one thing. Bilotti had a big announcement. He's been posting this everywhere, and I want to help him spread the word. And when he eventually does come on to do the tournament, we will get more details. But here's his post. Bilotti says, I am thrilled to finally announce Kaiju Brooklyn. He is teaming up with Brooklyn One Productions to bring you a one-day pop-up event featuring artists, toy vendors, cosplay, and a film screening celebrating giant Japanese monsters. It will be located inside the heart of Brooklyn's very own Industry City, an awesome complex of restaurant, bars, and much, much more. It is on Saturday, October 7th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So if you're in the area, if you're going to be in Brooklyn, make sure you stop by Industry City. I'll have the address and information in the episode description. But it looks like we'll get more. I haven't talked to him about this. He is putting on like a one-day little convention fest. That's very cool. Kaiju.
I'll go check that shit out.
Right. We need a full report from
I'll report from
Kaiju
you.
Brooklyn.
I'll be there.
You can follow at Robo7Art and BK1_productions. They will have, and then Kaiju Brooklyn has its own accounts that I've followed that he's monitoring. So that's very exciting, Bilotti. I need to know more when you come on.
I'm pumped.
And
I'm pumped.
Yeah, me too.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's really good.
I like turtles.
We all like turtles.
All right.
But we will help you.
Gamera?
I want to help spread the word of the Kaiju love in this one-day event for you. Okay, let's finish up with some What Are We Watching? Anthony, got anything?
I watched The Killer.
Oh, you watched The Killer.
You told us to watch it.
I did tell you to watch The
fucking
Killer.
I also watched it.
I did not, but I will.
And I mean, we kind of talked about it already, but The Killer is a good movie. It was a nice primer for Hard Boiled. I would say Killer might be.
Is it better than Hard Boiled?
Some ways it's better. There's a better hook to the story. It's not just like a gangster film. It is, but there's more. There's also you'll like this, Imran. There's like a weird. There's like the inspiration for RRR in this movie.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's a bromance.
It's a bromance. Yeah, there's like a cop,
dude,
and a gangster that are like hunting each other.
Wow.
And then they kind of fall in love as best friends.
Oh my God, that is RRR.
There's an RRR to this.
There's so much John
like.
Woo in RRR that I saw right away. It's great.
Yeah, this one. I mean, it has all the John Woo stuff. There's a church. There's doves.
There's doves in that one.
There's doves. There's fighting in the church, like face off. Like it's good. I mean,
what I heard was Hard Boiled wasn't as critically successful as The Killer and that one before. Better,
yeah, because The Killer's it's melodramatic, soapy. Yeah. It's got it's got like a pulpy Hollywood script format. You know, that I feel like he was aping Hollywood movies a little bit.
Yeah, but it's good. It's the only thing that sucked is I had to watch it on my computer. But
sometimes that happens.
Yeah, so I watched The Killer, and that's it. I was intending to watch Police Story 2 and 3, but maybe I'll watch it this week.
Oh, you're gonna watch both 2 and 3? Yeah, you gotta watch.
I gotta watch it before we do our show. So
yeah, you might as well watch 2. You gotta watch all the police stories.
It's just interesting watching Jackie Chan, and then watching Chow Yun-fat.
Yeah,
and just the difference in Gun Fu versus Kung Fu
versus very physical,
but they're both entertaining in their own way.
Very different, but very entertaining.
Yeah,
you could just combine the two.
Oh my God,
and involve some kind of muscles from Brussels. You could only do that. You'd have the perfect
one
film.
time that it happened, and it was the perfect film. Hard Target really is. All right, good. I gotta watch The Killer to prepare for our thing. Ruggs, what do you got? You watched some things.
I watched it all, Abron.
Okay, I think I watched a couple.
You don't have
I watched
to
a couple of things you may have watched. Let's talk about them.
I watched Spider-Man Lotus.
Oh shit! Okay.
Oh shit!
Pause right there.
You know about this, Anthony?
Tell him the story about this movie here.
So I guess there's this dude who wanted to make a Kickstarter called Spider-Man Lotus, and he shot like a little promo with some little cheap effects, and people were like, "Yeah, I'm down for that." So they gave him a shitload of money to make this movie, and then. All of a sudden, he got into some controversy because some disgruntled person started posting his tweets or texts.
It was a group private chat from the lead guy. This is a fan film that just released on YouTube. It's 2 hours long. The guy who plays Peter Parker. There was some group chats where they were, let's say, a little racist, a little homophobic when they were, I believe they were teenagers. Doesn't excuse them, but they were teenagers. But these are private group chats also that got released.
Yeah, it's some dirty shit, but no, regardless, now like everybody wants this movie to fail. And let me tell you something, you don't have to want it to fail. It is a failure, right? It's look, I will say this, like there are times where it doesn't look so bad. There's times where I'm like, hey, it's not bad for a fan film, but it's 2 hours and it should have been 20 minutes. All right. There's no reason, dude, you got to edit down. There's no place for all of this bullshit.
So
no one cares about this.
I watched this whole thing also, and I was kind of following the controversy. Like the director, who was 18 when he was working on this, and the kid who made the comments, they put out an apology video and stuff. And so I'm like, all right, let me see what this is about. Because I remember seeing the trailer and some of the teases. I will say the suit is not bad, right, Ruggs? Can you agree with me? The suit's pretty good.
No, there's things that like for a young kid to pull off, is a little impressive. But like, the fact that he doesn't know how to edit this, why this had to be 2 hours long?
No, it didn't. And but there are some legit like swinging scenes that the visual effects crew, whoever they had, did a really good job. By the way, that VFX crew, after these allegations and these group chats came out, they walked off the project and they left. I hope some of this gets him some work, because the VFX work in the few shots where he's swinging is really good for something that's a fan film. That's a budget. I read $25,000, but I think the Kickstarter, they got to $100,000 to make this.
Yeah.
It is way too long and it's a little boring, honestly. So what it's about, it picks up after the death of Gwen Stacy, and he mixes the story, the kid who collects Spider-Man, combines that with the death of Gwen Stacy and a little bit of Spider-Man Blue, where Peter talks about his relationships and he's like making a tape for Gwen. So he kind of combined all that together. So Peter visits this terminal kid and there's flashbacks while he's there. But it's really weird. They're like these vignettes that just kind of start and end and fade and something else starts. There's really no plot to the thing. Some of the acting was decent. The kid playing Peter Parker reminds me of the guy from Cobra Kai who played Robbie. He looks just like Robbie from Cobra Kai.
Yeah, but the actor's a terrible actor and doesn't have any charisma or anything.
They tried. Gwen is in there.
He looks okay. He doesn't look terrible.
Got
But
Harry Osborn and Gwen and MJ. And it's, for a fan film, I've seen worse. In fact, we're going to talk about another one that's a lot worse. So, but it's really dark. I feel like a lot of these fan films are also really dark.
When you put this long, boring ass fan film up to the other film we're about to talk about, this looks
is a masterpiece.
This looks like a fucking Christopher Nolan film.
But I don't want to. I feel bad shitting on like these are passion projects. I don't know if this is legal. I don't know if Marvel comes after them. They're not making money off this.
No, they don't. Of course
not.
But
there's a little bit of controversy surrounding the lead
Why do
actor.
you keep saying it like that?
Because that's how the British say it, and it makes them sound so sophisticated.
So then there's Superman Solar.
Then there is another fan film called Superman the Solar. What do you know about this one?
I don't know shit about it. I just know I watched it for like 5 minutes. I'm like, this is fucking a hot mess.
On the plus side, it's about 25 minutes long. So it's not.
I got that
it's
right.
not a 2-hour film, but this one obviously a lot lower budget and production.
This looks like shit.
Values.
I'm already watching it.
The lighting is not the greatest. The guy playing Superman is kind of awkward. There's not really controversy about this, just that it's been brought up that it's from a U.S. Army vet who has made this movie. Is a former Army vet, and a lot of people saying he put a lot of he made Superman very conservative, right wing. I didn't really think that was that heavy-handed in this. I mean, it kind of makes sense that Superman would be.
He just said he didn't want to be political. He just wanted to do the right thing.
Yeah, but there is a part where there's a guy about to jump off a roof, and Superman flies up there, and he's all like, "Look, kid, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Do whatever you want, but I'm just going to come and talk to you." When I'm like, just fucking fly him down. What are you doing? But the lighting is it's very amateur acting, whatever.
It's not good.
It is a quick watch. The CGI, that's why Spider-Man Lotus looks like a fucking Hollywood blockbuster compared to this movie. But people put their.
I just think, look, if they cut down Spider-Man Lotus to like 20 minutes,
why
long,
is it even?
what
is it? Why is it called Lotus? I didn't even understand the title.
I don't know.
Of the thing. But look, I love fan films, right? I always want to encourage people. Want to make your thing, you make your thing, you put it out there. God bless them.
Just don't make them 2 hours
Don't
long.
make them 2 hours when they
That's
did
all.
need to be. Yeah, that one is very meandering,
70 minutes is that's the longest you can go. I'm telling you all, fan filmmakers. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Number one, you shoot less, more bang for your buck. Put that money into the production. Don't start shooting willy-nilly and wasting everyone's time with all this extra shit. You don't need it. Just do it 70 minutes. It's good.
It does have some Zack Snyder shots in this Superman movie where he's like in front of the sun and the moon and shit. But anyways, look, there's a Hollywood strike. This is what we got right now to watch. That's new. You want to watch some new shit? There's 2 fan films. Support the independent creator. Ruggs, what else did you watch?
I watched Heart of Stone.
Okay, let's talk about this. Have you heard about this one, Anthony?
No.
This is Gal Gadot's big action Netflix epic. And you know what? This whole thing with her as Wonder Woman and this movie and like her in Red Notice really made me realize like she hasn't really had a hit after being Wonder Woman. Like she's been trying and maybe she's not the greatest actor. I don't know.
Oh, it took you this to realize?
I realized that.
She's
but
limited. Let's just say she's limited.
I mean, she's great to look at and she could do the action. But like she hasn't had a substantive hit. This is not it. On Rotten Tomatoes right now, this movie's sitting at 31%.
Like you can, like Gal Gadot is, she's a good looking person. But I think you can't just be a good looker. You have to have the whole
Give
package.
me the Heart of Stone synopsis.
Heart of Stone is, it's basically Mission Impossible.
It is exactly
what we just
Mission
saw.
Impossible done on Netflix. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same movie, but on Netflix. It's Gal Gadot plays an agent who's part of like a GI Joe. Almost.
She's an MI6, but she's also another covert double agent.
Yeah, she's like a double agent. She's working for this like company that's like this global like they're doing their own thing. They're doing their own like vigilante version of like of MI6. And so she's implanted at MI6 as a double agent, and they're all kind of after the same thing and then they realize, not only is there like a vigilante group that's trying to do good, there's also a vigilante MI6 that's trying to do evil, like a Cobra. And
what's the MacGuffin? Tell them about the MacGuffin.
AI is an AI fucking brain.
It is an algorithm that can hack into everything. She does a halo jump. There's parachuting. There's every Mission Impossible stunt done in this with Gal Gadot. Of course, not for real.
Yeah, and everything's there's nowhere near the amount of like gripping, compelling. It's like it seems like very much like very average action
We've
movie.
seen everything done before. Like it didn't
better.
Yeah, and better. So it's like a watered down fucking Mission Impossible. It's 31% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I was like, you know what? It's all right. It's like a 5 or a 6, like to have on.
I would say it's maybe like a 5.5 or a 6 if you really
overly
love Gal
complicated
Gadot.
with their card in code names and like I couldn't follow half of that shit, but stuff blows up.
Whatever. I watched the whole thing. It's no like Extraction. Extraction is the creme de la creme right now.
But Heart of Stone, a clunker for the Gal Gadot, unfortunately, on the Netflix.
Yeah, her career is over. She doesn't have this is what it is. I'm sorry, but she doesn't have Wonder Woman anymore. Yeah. This thing, does it have legs? We won't know yet, but I don't think so.
You could make a bunch of these sequels, right? But they're not going to.
If they were sexier, I could probably see people tuning in for it. But
it's a little James Bond also and Mission Impossible squished together. It's just derivative of everything we've seen.
It's not sexy. It was sexless. It was like the fact that you have this beautiful woman in the role, like there, even in James Bond, you see like Daniel Craig take his shirt off and like, fuck girls and stuff. Like there was nothing in that. There was no like even a romantic interest. There was like they didn't do any of that. So it was just like, not as fun as like a James Bond movie.
I was like, this is such a Mission Impossible ripoff and not as good. It was hilarious to see. I'm like, they're doing every stunt from every. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, if you're not gonna have the sex, you got to have great action. Like that's like as good as Mission Impossible. That carries the film.
Anything else you watch?
I did watch the Transformers movie.
Rise of the Beasts.
It was not good. It was all right. I feel like the reason why Imran likes it is, of course, predictable because it has a good
All that hip hop
soundtrack.
music, I was like, yo,
That's
it was fun.
That's what,
though.
all
It's
you need. All you need to win Imran over
You know
a
what? But
bad
it's
movie
it was
is play
harmless.
hip-hop.
It was just like harmless and like whatever. I want to talk about one
Put some
thing.
hip hop in it. Put in Camille.
Put some brown people, Camille and Johnny, hip hop. I'm in.
Yeah, Camille Najani, hip hop, and then you're
Some
good.
fucking gun fu. Wait, quick spoiler about that movie.
Spoiler alert.
I want to talk about the ending because that was the only time in the movie I was like, oh shit, what is happening here? So they go through this whole thing. They got to find the thing. They got to stop Unicron. They stop him. Anthony Ramos, the lead character, at the end, he thinks he's going for a job interview and he's talking to this guy. Turns out this guy knows everything he just did. He wants him to join him in stopping alien incursions. The wall opens up behind him. And there's like a whole warehouse there. He's giving him this business card. And at the last scene is Anthony Ramos steps up on this balcony. He flips the business card and there's a G.I. Joe logo on the card. And that's how they end the movie. I was like, oh.
So the next movie's going to be Transformers and
fuck?
G.I. Joe.
Are they trying to make G.I. Joe a thing again?
Was that what they did?
I don't think you can make G.I. Joe a thing. They tried with that Snake Eyes movie that apparently was very bad. And none of the other movies were good. What Rugs, would you want this? Would you want the next one to be a G.I. Joe fucking crossover?
I mean, the only reason I would probably watch another one of these movies is to see something that fucking ridiculous.
I mean, it was crazy. So,
like, if they could make Transformers and G.I. Joe together, like they did, I think they did it once in the cartoon.
That live action crossover.
That would be funny,
like,
to check out.
I don't know. Anthony, you have any fondness for G.I. Joe? You don't give a shit about G.I. Joe.
No, I wasn't a big G.I. Joe guy, to be honest.
I don't know how you set it up. There's so many characters with all different personalities. It's very pro-military. I don't think you could make G.I. Joe a thing right now. But they're going to try, I guess. So that was the best part of the movie. It was the fucking last shot. And then I'm just continuing to watch that fucking Lost type show called From on MGM Plus. Shout out again.
They're in a video game. That's what I figured
Jose
out.
Ibarra. What, in From? Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Are they dead? Is it a dream? I'm a season and a half. I'm in the middle of the second season.
All right, this is my theory.
Yeah.
That the people that are in there are jacked in. I haven't even watched the show.
It's a Matrix
I thought about
situation.
it. I was taking a shit the other day and I thought about what you were talking about. I'm like, oh, there are all these people. They don't know where they are. They're stuck in this city. They can't get out. So I feel like these are people that are plugged into like a program, like so they can like live until they can figure out how to like resurrect them.
Oh,
and one of them became rogue and started to take ownership of the program
Start
and make
fucking
do
with
whatever.
people and making monsters.
But they have the people who are observing them have no idea what's going on.
Well, that's funny you mentioned that because they kind of bring up a thing like, is someone watching us and is this a giant experiment because of something that happens? But let me tell you what, so far, a season and a half into this, they haven't explained fucking shit. They're just fucking jerking me around, adding more mysteries. Another fucking busload of people show up. But then they kill a bunch of people. So I'm still in. I'm kind of enjoying it, but I'm also starting to get a little like, oh, you're not going to explain it.
Or like it could be another thing. It was like it's a computer program that people are jacked into because they're like in suspended animation and they're like going across the galaxy.
Okay.
And I don't know.
They're in a little,
so they have to have their brain function doing something.
They're in like a pocket universe of some kind.
Yeah.
It's not in a place, but I want to know what it is. They're not going to tell me, and they're going to give me more mysteries.
Let me know if I'm right.
I will. I don't think we're going to find out, though, at the end of the second season. Not at the pace.
Probably not.
Not at the pace these episodes are going. But I'm going to watch the rest of it. So, all right. That's it for this week, listener Rugs. Where can the people X you?
On X, at Really Rug Boy.
Give me on X. We're on X too.
Come follow me. You know what? There's a lot of fake people. I thought Elon was getting rid of these bots, but I got all these sex bots following.
No, he's fired.
Maybe they're really real people.
No, they're not. They only have one. They have one post.
Yeah, well, everyone's got to start somewhere.
All those people that were supposed to like monitor this have left fucking the company, so they don't care anymore. They
Yeah,
just
Elon's just freewheeling.
do whatever you want. We're on X2 at Jock and Nerdcast. You can find links to all our socials in our episode description on our website, jockandnerd.com. But the most important thing you can do, listener, is share the show, spread the geekery, pass it around like a doobie, puff, puff, pass, and we'll all get high together. It'll be wonderful. Communal event. Thank you for listening to the Jock and Nerd Podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
We'll peep you next time.
Be my What buddy?
I really don't give a shit.
I like turtles.
Ah, yes. I see that you know your judo well.
Jock and Nerd. You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.